You know, it's been 30 years since the Queen of Tejano music was killed, a murder that shocked Selena's fans here in Texas and around the world. Very few people have covered her as extensively as senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez. So, you know, what comes to mind when you remember that day?
Just heartbreaking and shocking, Chris. Look, I was a huge Selena fan. I often went to her concerts and I had a lot of her music. And I remember getting a call from a friend who told me Selena has been killed and the killer was a woman who used to work for her. It was just so stunning. I went into the newsroom where I worked in Austin and no one at the time seemed to understand the magnitude of her death. So I took a photographer with me to a record store in East Austin. People were lined up for about 2 miles just trying to get into that record store. I then covered her funeral. The family had a public viewing and opened the casket because so many people were saying she's not really dead. And so they wanted to prove that she was. And at the burial, I was there just feet away from her casket. People were placing white roses. I remember that so vividly on top of her casket. There were hundreds of those roses, Chris.
You know, you interviewed Selena, you know, I think about a year before her death. Is there, you know, anything that sort of stays with you to this day?
Yeah, it was incredible because I wanted to ask her what she wanted to be doing 10 years from now, or when I interviewed her, and here is what she said.
I just hope still to be alive, hopefully singing still, and maybe later on, 10 years down the road, I hope to have a family by then.
Yeah, it's almost like she had a sense that something might happen to her, Chris. It was kind of eerie now that I listened to that.
Yeah, I could see where in the moment, it's just an innocuous comment. Yeah. You wouldn't think it, you know, young singer, you wouldn't think anything of it, but in hindsight, it hit so differently.
Almost like she had a premonition. And in some ways, you know, Selena has become even bigger figure in her death.
Yeah, however, a lot of that has to do, I think, with her fans. What have they done to sort of continue her legacy through the years?
Well, you know, there's been music videos, documentaries, books written about her, the movie with Jennifer Lopez, which was amazing. She grew in popularity after her death and her songs live on and new generations are drawn to her music. Also, fans have taken to social media recently to talk about the possibility that her killer, Yolanda Saldívar, would be paroled after spending 30 years of her life sentence in prison. The parole board declined her request for parole, and I saw a lot of people celebrating that. I'll have a lot more on her 30th anniversary of her death coming up at 10, Chris.
Yeah, I know a lot of Selena fans are going to want to see that as they look back on those 30 years. And, you know, it's just one of the many ways that we're commemorating her legacy. So please make sure to join us tonight at 7 for Remembering Selena. Our WFAA Plus special will feature our coverage from the day she died and a look at the legacy she left behind. WFAA Plus gives you another way to watch us at home, so download our free streaming app to your TV.